It has been a while since I've sat in front of the webcam like this and done a video. I've kind of missed it. So, how the hell are you doing? My name is Adam, or Epos Vox, and this is a vlog of sorts, except I'm using fancy recording stuff, sorta. My webcam may actually be relatively in focus for once, given that it's in front of me, although it's going to be macro focusing on this, as you can clearly see. My lovely microphone stand is in a lot more detail than my face, which is probably good, because I just shaved yesterday because I got super tired. I hadn't shaved from like October till yesterday, and I was just going to let it grow like a winter beard, because my parents are renovating the bathroom at the moment, and we haven't had a bathroom mirror for quite a while, and I don't want to try to shave without a mirror, but I eventually got too tired of it. It was getting to the point, like, it wasn't all that long, to be honest, but when you're kind of in that mid-growing phase, it got to that point where anytime I even touched, like, my mustache or some of the side stuff, it would just hurt. Like, it would pull at the roots too much and just hurt. So I ended up just trimming it up, and I did a decent job for not having a mirror. So I look like a kid, like I'm 16 in front of my camera again, doing my old school unboxings or my Epos Nerd News from a couple years ago. And yeah, how's it going? Spider-Man. Anyway, I don't know. We haven't been very active on the vlog channel, and that's been for a few reasons, and I'm hoping I can explain this a little bit and catch things up a little bit, since we haven't been very active, and just kind of give a general update. Ideally, most of my channel updates and things like that will go up on this vlog channel. However, that becomes a little difficult when it's really hard to get people to move from the main channel over to this channel. And that has proven... God, hello. Hang on. That's proven surprisingly difficult, and I'm not entirely sure why. Other than just for whatever reason, nobody watches my various promo or update videos. I noticed that on my TF2 channel as well. I made a video on my TF2 channel. And my TF2 channel, the TF2 specific videos get consistently about 200 views on average. Which, in theory, you could argue is total shit for the channel. But the channel's been alive since, like, 2008? No, 2010. And was dead for a very long time, and now makes TF2 videos, when never before did I make TF2 videos. So there's only a small bit of the fan base that's there for TF2 videos. But I made a video, actually I just kind of re-uploaded my video talking about my network, launching the network, and it got like 50 views. Nobody watched it. And it would be really neat if all the TF2 people would be, I could make them aware of the network and what's going on with it and get their attention for it and be like, hey, we have a network, and I'm pretty sure some of them would be interested. But I have no way of reaching them if they're not going to watch the video. I am probably going to make a TF2 video talking about it as well, but that's besides the point. It's been very difficult to get some of the people to watch something telling them to go check out the vlog channel on the main channel. So there's only like 70 of us so far. I don't know what to call y'all so far. The Epos and Chewites, Chews Poos, I don't know. But I do want to start making channel updates on here on the regular. And actually, if I flip over to my monitor once I pull this up real quick, I've been getting really, really organized for all YouTube stuff. Since I'm doing this full time, it is about damn time I kicked into gear and started really getting organized, tracking my earnings, tracking my views, tracking, what I'm doing. And so I made this huge complex spreadsheet with tabs for every single channel, and then tabs for the Geek Network on a whole, and my extraneous projects, as well as my recruiter earnings. The individual channels, I'm not going to show this because it says private information. The individual channels has monthly views, monthly subscription gains, and earnings, and what network they were on, and that kind of stuff. So I can see how the channel's growing, how the channel's earning. Originally it was to track financials, but then I decided it would be really useful to track metadata as well. And then I have a separate little box for averages, sums, yearly totals, monthly averages, things like that. Recruiter earnings just tracks my recruiter earnings because I have one guy I recruited at when I had first started at Pharrella, another network that I had started on before I worked for Freedom, and then my Freedom recruiter earnings. The Geek Network is just tracking networks and earnings, and I'm going to add in there, I'm going to make a note of this now, spreadsheet GeekNet networks and partners. Now that it's actually going, it wasn't actually active when I made the spreadsheet. I need to add in how many partners we have at each month, and then how many networks we have in us, because we currently have 2 sponsored networks, the Toys MCN and Minecraft Manifest TV, or just Manifest TV, the Manifest Network. And they've both been doing very, very well, which is really good. I just want to keep track of how many we have and I guess how they're doing. I'll add that in there. And then my extraneous projects is just my earnings from things like Fiverr, selling on Amazon, my Amazon affiliate code. Rarely when I get paid Control Freak affiliate money, things like that. Separate contract work, things like that. It's just so I have it all totaled because tax season's going to be hell next year. I got to get in contact with a tax professional and figure out how to do all this shit, and I'm probably going to have to pay. I'm going to have to pay the people, probably going to have to pay tax. It's going to be interesting. Anyway, I did make this spreadsheet as well as part of that organization process of my video schedules, like my planned uploads for a week. Now, I'm still debating whether or not I should go back in retroactively and add videos that I uploaded and didn't plan. Like if I switch OBS to my monitor right now, here we go. Here's the spreadsheet. Let me make it full screen because I'm not going to edit this video much. This is this week. I've only done this week and then my scheduled videos on Geek for next week. Overall, as I noted for like high tech here, all these channels, it's going to be all just videos that I am uploading. But since I am at the moment the sole person managing the videos going up on Geek, I want to make sure I keep track of them. So I have Geek videos going up or marked in here that aren't actually made by me. And so I'm just tracking those. But, I didn't make all these Geek videos. However, I made everything else. And I did make some Geek videos, like this one-up box video I made. So I made this spreadsheet tracking my video uploads here. And so, yesterday on Monday, I had a TF2 video go up, and then I had the finale of Gauntlet go up on the main channel. Tuesday and Thursday, I had Call of Duty Advanced Warfare videos going up on the Kingslayer channel. When tomorrow, Wednesday, I'll have the extra episode of Gauntlet go up, and then Friday, I will have Forum Friday go up. Is this going to work? Let me do... There we go. Close that. All right, and then so you can see what's going on here, and then have it color coded by which channel it's going on. Pokemon TCG channel, Geek, our vlog channel, which you're watching this on, the main channel, on my TF2 channel, the Call of Duty channel, and the high tech channel if I make a video for it, which I plan to at some point. And actually, I'll even add in here school. I'll at some point make videos to upload to the school channel. I'm not really sure when that will be, but ideally I will be. What color? Oh, okay. Thanks, Chrome. Google Drive. That was weird. All right, let's make it a nice pink. There we go. That'll be for school. And that'll also just be me. But, hello. The decision I was trying to decide whether or not I should make is, for example, today on Tuesday, I have Tuesday and Thursday blank because those are weekly series that I usually have to wait until the day before to get videos for. This week and last week, we did not have Tech Card Tuesdays up on Geek. And so I don't think last week I posted anything, but this week I filled it in with Strangelove's Nerd Block. So do I use this as a historical reference of what I originally scheduled to upload, and therefore I had planned for, Nothing or Tech Card Tuesday to be on Tuesday, and therefore leave it blank because it didn't fit the blank? Or do I go back and add in Nerd Block so that I know Nerd Block went up that day? Or should I go back and add it but have some sort of way, like either an asterisk or a different color mark or just a symbol to acknowledge that it was a change in schedule? I don't know. If you all have opinions on that, I'm kind of looking for opinions on that. But anyway, just in case you have opinions. But so I got organized here, made a schedule. So I'm going to start tweeting these out at the start of every week, as I did with this week on Sunday night when I ended up staying up 24 hours on accident. That was interesting. And so just scheduling out so you can see what all is coming up. And for a little bit, because this week that we're currently in is my last week of classes, and so I have a final project due this Friday here. I have a final project due Monday, Wednesday, 2 on Wednesday, I think, 1 on Monday, and then we have all finals next week here on the 8th through the 14th. I have final presentations on Monday, final presentations on Tuesday, final tests on Thursday. So for the next couple of weeks, videos are probably going to be pretty scarce on the channel, as we're done with Gauntlet. We're kind of out of series content at the moment. Ideally, Thursday we might record some. This Thursday, probably when you're watching this. No, you'll be watching it on Wednesday. Well, you'll be watching it whenever. It'll be uploaded on Wednesday. Hopefully we'll get to record a little bit. Maybe we'll jump in, record some Fight the Dragon just so we have content here on Thursday. But this is finals week. This is my last week before I am free to focus on YouTube and geek 100% other than for holidays. Ow. And so I want to do my best to stay focused on school for this week. So content may be completely scarce. And that's really going to suck for views because, frankly, wintertime ad revenue is just amazing, but I gotta have priorities. I even uninstalled Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, so I don't have that as a distraction. Although I've quickly replaced it with CSGO, so there's that. Other notes while we have this up, you will see here I have brought Forum Friday back. It is going to be syndicated on Geek as well as the main channel. And I've noted in this, but I just want to acknowledge it in a separate video as well, where I'm taking a different approach to it. I'm not going to force myself to stick to a weekly thing. Basically, I explained this in Forum Friday, but Season 1 went really, really well. It was a great just experience overall, but then it died because the last episode of it was about Dexter. Apparently nobody cared about Dexter, although on Geek they might now, although Dexter's over, so no, they wouldn't. I didn't get any comments on the video, and I can't, like, the whole purpose of the series was to focus your all's comments, and at the time, I started getting busy, and I was like, well, I can't make a video if I don't have comments to feature, so I just kind of stopped making them. Then I went back for Season 2 and made some, and I just completely ran out of time, and I never really went back to it. I also didn't feel I got enough adequate comments to keep it going with how much time I was pressed for at the time. This was when I was still working a job as much as I could throughout the week and school on top of Geek and YouTube, whereas now my actual job is Geek. And so I'm approaching it different now. I'm not going to force myself to stay to a weekly schedule, so if I don't have time, I will simply, since I usually will have videos on Fridays anyway, because I like to make sure content, like we're starting to get to a position where we're going to be able to, especially if some anime guys come through, we're going to have content where we're going to have multiple content pieces per day, which will be pretty cool, which is actually what inspired me to make this spreadsheet, is so I can keep track of that. But I manage a bajillion channels, as you can see here, and so I really need to get on track. And I was doing it on my manual written calendar, but it's not working out as well as I had hoped. But so I'm not going to force myself to stick to a weekly schedule, and Chu came up with the idea, actually, that I'm going to try to work out is if I don't get comments for a specific week, I'm going to try and get, which may require a week delay, but I'm going to try to get another YouTuber on to collab and have their opinion about the topic and talk about it with them as a way to collab, which I don't do anywhere near enough of, and it's extremely frustrating. But so I can collab with the other YouTuber and keep the series going and move on to another question that more people might be interested in commenting about. And I thought that was a brilliant genius idea, so props to her for that. We're going to give it a go. And I may have Chew on there as well. Why the hell not? I want her to be more part of more things, and I often do things before I involve her, and so, yeah. So I think that's all I wanted to address with the spreadsheet being open here. I did go ahead and make a tab for 2015. I'm trying to get, like, all my financial spreadsheet stuff I have running through 2016 for the most part. And then I have this, I just started 2015. I'll get it fleshed out more when I have time. Like I said, school is certainly a priority at the moment. This is just going to be a huge update video, so feel free to skip around or come back to it. Let me go ahead and swap to me, not my face. Hello. All right, so as you can see, it is holiday time. I've actually decorated my room with some awesome lights. I uploaded a goofy video before, just kind of showing it off. This section right here, it's so hard to point in a camera. Right there. That section, I need to move this. That section's a total mess right now. I have 2 strands of lights going. And so originally it went from the power strip next to my bed where that iHome is, all the way around this side of the room up behind my setup. And that was it. But then when I added the second, let me scoot this back. Focus. I don't think it's going to do it. All right, then let me scoot forward. But then I added the second strand, which, wow, it really likes my microphone. I added the second strand, which is now running, wow, that way, up around the other side of my setup here. OBS camera, hello? OBS died, but thankfully did not lose my footage. Okay. But then I added the second strand, which is running around that side of the setup now, and plugged it in a different side of the setup, and then connected that first strand to it. And so now I have all this extra strand here that I need to figure out what to do with. But it's really cool how up here, which you can't obviously see, but the corner, my TV is on this wall that my camera is on. Then I have this wall right here, which has a game shelf and stuff and sound foam, but the light is actually running across the corner, so it actually cuts across the corner and just kind of hangs there, just like it does in that corner right there. And I don't know, with it producing light and cutting across the corner like that, I just feel like it adds an extra layer of depth to my room, on top of being festive. So that's pretty neat. Just something I felt like doing. Whatever. So Cyber Monday was 2 days ago, and I was so tempted to splurge on so many things, including an Xbox One because I really want to play Master Chief Collection once it's actually working, a PS4 because I've been dying for a PS4 forever, and in general, I would much rather have a PS4 than an Xbox One. And then there was a 4K monitor for $299, and I would have bought it. I would have bought it in a heartbeat, and I was typing in my payment information before I read up reviews on it just to be certain. It was only 30 hertz. Monitors typically run at 60 hertz. Running a mouse through 30 hertz monitor would be like driving it through molasses. Not good, especially for video work or video games. A few hours late, actually, that was in the morning. They have no idea what OBS's problem is. It's not dropping any frames. It's holding a constant 60. It's not having trouble with the bitrate, but it will just randomly stop recording. The program will still be running. My audio meter will still be running, but the recording timer will just freeze at whatever time it was, and my webcam will stop, and I can't change scenes. Okay. Sorry. I thought I was not going to edit this, but now I got to chop it up and stuff. Anyway, I found that deal at midnight as soon as it became Cyber Monday. And I like I said, I was typing in my payment information, looked at it, 30 hertz, wasn't going to do it. Once I realized I hadn't spent much money that night, I went back to it. I was going to order it. I desperately want a 4K monitor for productivity, for video editing, for photo editing, for having a bunch of stuff up on the screen at once. A 4K monitor is going to be amazing whenever I can get a hold of one. They just need to be more affordable. And so I figured for just a secondary monitor, I'd put it over here where my square monitor is at the moment and use it, like I said, for just workspace stuff. Looked at some reviews and they literally said they just couldn't, especially having a multi-monitor setup where your main monitor is 60 hertz, that multiple people said they just could never get used to it. And I'm one of those people that wouldn't be able to get used to it. So I elected not to. But what I did order was a 1080p 60 frames per second Canon camcorder. It's a RFH 500. It's a RFH 500, I want to say. And it does 1080p 60 frames per second to an SD card. And it holds up to 128 gig SD card. And from the quality, it actually looks pretty good. I saw a lot of YouTubers using it. And so I looked up some 60 frames per second specifically reviews so we can use it for skits and vlogs, and having an actual camcorder versus a point and shoot camera for vlogs as well as Pokemon video openings and trading card video openings is going to be immensely helpful. And depending on the quality, I may replace my DSLR with it from time to time for formal videos, since I can still use my fancy new mic and audio recorder with it, because it's a separate audio recording, so I can just clap and sync it up. So pretty stoked for that. The only problem is, when I ordered it, it was out of stock. However, being out of stock, I was still able to order it within a certain period of time and lock in the price. It was almost half the price of what it's going for now. Now it's going for close to $300, if not $300, from whichever seller you get it from. I ordered it for about $169. Fantastic deal for that kind of camcorder. Was not seeing any other good quality 1080p 60 camcorders for under $300, and frankly, I could not justify that. But $160 for a good camcorder, hell yeah. And so it hasn't actually charged me for it yet, because they don't charge till it ships. I got really freaked out because the listing, like typically if an Amazon item goes out of stock, it's going to just stay there and say it's out of stock. You can still order it, but you won't get it for a while, and they'll email you when it comes in. Usually it takes just a couple days. But then when I went back to check on it, because apparently I was much more excited for it than I thought, the listing was gone. So I was really, really concerned, because I was, like I said, a lot more excited for it than I thought. I was really concerned that they were just like not selling it as a sold and shipped by Amazon item, and my order would just never be fulfilled, and it would be like New Year's time and I still wouldn't have the camera, and suddenly I'd be back at square one, and that would be really depressing, because I'm, like I said, really excited for this all of a sudden. So I got on a chat thing, on the support chat, and talked to an Amazon support chat agent who just gave me the same general spiel of, they'll email me when they get one, and sorry it's out of stock, but it should be in stock soon, blah, blah, blah. Nothing helpful, but they did confirm that they're not discontinuing it, that they don't just discontinue it, that I will get one. But of course, in theory, that could mean I'd be waiting a year before I get one. So I did find out, which I totally didn't notice, that a couple of the Blu-rays I ordered from the Black Friday sale were out of stock. And they just updated today saying that they were brought back in stock and being shipped soon. So that was, 3 days? Hope I can wait 3 extra days for that camera. I just want a confirmation that it's being shipped to my house. I am very excited for it, and I hope you all are excited for the content that it will hopefully bring to the channel. That's enough of me talking. Clearly, OBS is having trouble with me, so I'm going to quit talking. If any of you all are possibly watching by this point, thank you so very much. Let me know if you want to see more channel-ish updates on here. Hopefully, once we do get a camcorder, Chu and I will be back to vlogging. The school semester really picked up, and so we had to drop it off a bit. We haven't had time together. We haven't had time to vlog, etc. Bye-bye.